Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Okay, so today we're going to talk about limitations. Most people, and I mean most people, I'm easily talking 91% of people on the planet, they limit themselves in almost every way possible and they don't even know that they're doing it. So today I was talking to a young lady, well, not too young, she's probably about 34, 35 years old. Obviously, I don't know if she was married, but she's definitely had kids, and I'm assuming she was married. So we had a conversation, so she was helping me with this paperwork, and she goes, what do you do exactly? So I said personal development. She goes, yeah, but what do you do? And so I gave her a couple like NLP, timeline therapy, etc. But then I said, well, I specialize in communication between men and women. Now, I already know that's going to get what's the word? It's going to trigger her. It's going to get her attention, essentially. And so she's like, really? She was really interested, but then I said, and next it is, yeah, but you're a man, and guys don't get it. And then I told her, I actually wrote a book called Why Men Just Don't Get It. And she started to laugh. And I said, yep, that's the very typical response. And I like that response because I wrote that book for a reason, because women are very aware that men just don't get it. And that's why I wrote the book called Why Men Just Don't Get It. Ladies, if you have not bought my book, Why Men Just Don't Get It, I highly recommend that you get it right now and get the follow-up book, Every Woman's Battle, the Need for Love and Emotional Fulfillment, okay? You can go to my website at MikeKollin.com, MikeKollin.com. Go to the very top, you're going to see the Women's tab. Click it, and the drop down, you'll see Women's Books. Okay, so I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of what happened, like very, very brief. The more I talked, the more she's like, yeah, that's true. Yep, that's true too. She's like, wow, I didn't know that men didn't do that. So what ended up happening, I said, I bet at your age, you never thought in a million years that men and women would actually be able to understand each other on a deeper level, especially a romantic level where you get your mentally stimulating and emotionally fulfilling communication needs met. And she said, not until I met you. Okay, so this video and these examples are not about me. It's not about my course. It's not about my books, my Cracked Female Code, or Why Women Get It, my dating coaching, nothing at all. This is not the purpose or intention. I'm using these as examples because I walked out of there feeling elated, feeling just awesome. Because now she's like, man, I did not know that this existed. I did not know that this was possible. Now, here's what I mean. You guys walk around. It's like you have blinders on, but you don't know that you have blinders on. And you think, well, this is just the way life is. And I am telling you, okay, number one, this is not just the way life is. And I'm going to say something that might shock you. You can have it all. Now, a lot of you are on this channel because of narcissist abuse. What do narcissists do? They do everything in their power to control you and limit you. That's what I was trying to explain in the last 3 or 4 videos, is like there are some unconscious beliefs that were installed into your brain by your parents, by your family, by your society, by your teachers, by your government. You have been limited on purpose to be controlled. And sometimes it's just an accident. Like I told you, my mother, like she lost her restaurants, she lost her home and got divorced. And she said, Michael, the more money you have, the more stress you have. So that's something we call complex equivalence in NLP. This means that. Now, I'm not going to go over that anymore because it's in the last 3 videos. But what happens is, we don't really even see, because you're not educated in this stuff, you don't even realize that you have so many beliefs or complex equivalences or mind reads, like, well, this means that, or this causes that, and it doesn't cause that at all. And then on top of that, you have limiting beliefs. Your teacher taught you something, or your father said something that was limited, or maybe you heard it in a movie or whatever when you were young, and you just said, oh, well, that's just the way life is. And because of that, you have blinders on in this area, in that area, in that area, in this area. And you're like, well, yeah, but Mike, this is just the way life is. No, it's not. Okay, so during the last 30 plus years, I began to notice that women, when they're younger, so when you're probably a teenager, female, your whole dream is like, well, I'm going to find a guy that gets it. I'm going to find a guy that understands. I'm going to find that guy, and we're going to get married, and we're going to live happily ever after. And you get a little older, like you're 20, 21, you date one guy, well, that didn't work, and date another one, that didn't work. Wow, that guy doesn't get it. Well, okay, I'm going to find one, though, that does, and because they're out there, And then you're going to, date another guy for maybe a year or so, and you're going to try to get him and try to teach him the communication and how to communicate on a deeper level. And that's one thing I told the young lady. It's like, you know how women say that men are surface level creatures? She's like, yeah. I go, well, the left logical brain is the surface level brain. It literally stays on the surface level. That's what it's designed for. And men are stuck in that brain. She's like, really? I said, the right brain is always looking for a deeper meaning. And she nods unconsciously. Well, yeah, of course. And I said, because the right brain is the deeper level brain. It's the brain that looks for deeper meaning and deeper levels in communication and experiences, et cetera, et cetera. Well, men don't use that brain. And she's like, man, this is starting to make sense. When women get frustrated with men, they call men nitwits. Well, men are at the tip of the V. They're at the very tip, at the very nit of their brain, using literally 1% or less than 1% of their brain, but they don't know it because that's all they've ever used their whole life. And they think, well, this is intelligence. And I'm like, yeah, it's the least intelligent. Now, I'm using my teachings in dating, relationships, and communication because it really, this is what woke me up to understanding, like, it could be in your finances, it could be in your relationship, it could be in raising your children. You are looking, okay, so narcissists, the way they control the world is they got men especially, they got men stuck in their logical left brain, and they got them into the either or mentality. Well, it's either you or it's me. It's either I'm rich or you're rich, either this or that, which causes this constant competition, which keeps them at the tip of the V so they can't get out, because getting out is at the other end. This is why Jesus said, get behind these Satans. When you're looking through that tip in your forehead, like the closed end of the V, you're very narrow and very limited. The goal is to flip that around. When Jesus said, get behind thee, put the tip behind your head. I literally took my hand, like I grabbed the tip and I spun it around, and I'm holding my pointer finger and my thumb behind my head, like I pulled the tip of the V there. And now, in front of me, the V is wide open. I actually teach men how to do this in a much more in-depth way than that, so they can learn how to be internal and expand wide open and have more options and possibilities. When a man truly does this, his whole world changes. He looks at everything from a radically different series of perspectives. Suddenly, women start to make sense. Suddenly, he understands the right brain language. See, a lot of men, when they hear me say that, oh, you just mean that metaphorically. No, I don't mean it metaphorically. I am telling you, beyond a shadow of all doubts on the planet and in our universe, men and women are not speaking the same language. I mean Chinese, German, Japanese, English, Spanish. We are speaking the male language versus the female language, the external versus the internal. So when I told this young lady, I literally teach men how to open up to their right brain and drop their awareness down inside their body, she just looks, she's like, really? I go, so now you can be on the same page. And I looked at her and I said, how many times have you said or heard another woman say to her husband or boyfriend or whoever, say, hey, come on, I'm on another page now, like, catch up, come on, like, keep up. That's what they'll say, like, keep up. And when I say this to my male clients, they're like, yeah, what do women talk, like, keep up to what? What are you talking about? Like, I'm on another page. So most men, like, they look for a book, like, I don't understand. You looking at a book or something? I don't see a book anywhere. And she starts to laugh. She goes, oh my God, I've actually had men say that to me. I go, when you're in your left brain, you're on the same page. You're using the same processor, the logical brain. You're also speaking the same logical, linear, external language. The right brain is the non-linear, circular, expanding processor that speaks the internal language. So when you switch over to the right brain, he's stuck in his left brain because he doesn't have as many neurological connections. And because of society, everything's left brain now. Everything, taxes, road, the rules of the road, everything we do now is left, 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 left. So he doesn't need to do anything right brain to survive, to put a roof over his head or nothing. He just needs to stay in his left brain. So men never develop that right brain connection, and they're born at birth at a default, because they don't have as many neurological connections to the right brain as a woman does. So women can go left, right. He's just stuck in his left. So when I told her I actually show men and teach them and condition them to open up to the right brain, she looked at, she was, really? I said, you didn't think that was possible, huh? She's like, no, I just gave. Okay, let me go back to the teenage girls and growing up. So when she turns 25, she starts to tell her girlfriends, because I remember hearing this growing up, girls would say, I just have the worst luck with men. I just can't find someone, that I match with, someone who knows how to communicate. Well, men are looking at her like, yeah, your ex-boyfriend, he spoke perfect English. What are you talking about? Like, he communicated just fine. Now, women are talking about right brain communication, but he doesn't know that. Even if you say right brain communication, they just kind of nod. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I communicate good. I'm a good communicator. No, they're not. So my point being is, when you get a little older, when you turn about 30, usually it's before this, but generally by 31, 32 years old, like you've had your friends, been married, divorced twice, maybe you've been married, divorced, or been in 2 or 3 long-term relationships, and you date a couple guys in between and after and before, and you go, what's going on here? And then you start getting very pissed off. You start getting very angry, because now you're thinking, oh man, it's not like a 50-50 shot, like 50% of the population of men get it. You're starting going, holy shit, this is more like 20%, And then as you get a little bit older, about 41 years old, you're like, dude, what the hell? Men don't get it. Over the years, a lot of women have said to me, after I teach them how we're wired differently neurologically for communication, our mating systems are connected to 2 different parts of our brain, how he doesn't have as many nerves connecting in the corpus callosum from the left brain to the right brain. Women will say to me, and have over the decades, that answers a lot of questions, because all my life I just assumed he must not have been born with something in his brain. Like something must be missing inside his brain. Like he just wasn't born with it, right? Because women are, and they're like, well, I do this all the time, so I assume he must too. No, he doesn't. He can't. He doesn't know how. He can be taught how. He can be conditioned. He can practice and get really good at it, though. So that's the good news. He can learn how to do this. Now, right now, men are listening, and they're like, do what? And every woman is going, well, open up to your right brain, communicate in the more in-depth language, blah, 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 the more mentally stimulating, emotionally fulfilling, and meaningful language. And he's like, what? Mentally, who? Emotional, meaning what? Meaningful, wait, what do you mean, meaningful what? What are you talking about? This is a foreign concept to the male brain because we don't do it. But here's the cool thing. They can learn how. They can not only learn how to do it, but they can actually learn to understand what this means. I'm going to shift out of that because again, it's not about my course. Here's what the point of everything I've said so far and why I'm so excited about this. We are at a time in society where we are pulling out of the muck. And right now, I am yanking people, grabbing them by the shirt collar, yanking them out of the muck, up onto dry land, lifting them up, spraying them with a hose, cleaning them off, and getting them to walk. Even right here says your job is to believe. I don't want you to believe. I want you to know from physically seeing, hearing, feeling, and experiencing it and doing it. So believing is, it's like if someone gives you the key to the car and says, hey man, put this in the ignition and turn it and it'll start. If you don't believe it, then you won't do it. Believing is just to get you to the point of opening the door, flipping the light switch. And now you know. The goal was never to get you to believe. The goal was to get you to know beyond a shadow of a doubt, to absolutely know because you did it. For example, have you ever turned the light switch on? What happens? the lights go on, Mike. I'm like, so is that something that you believe, or is that something you know? Well, it's something you know. Do you see the difference? You have been taught your whole life to believe, because they didn't want you to know. The whole idea of saying have faith is because it's like some people won't even try. So, okay, in my course, I'm telling you, ladies, it is a real challenge for men to believe anything that I'm saying, because their brains like, Mike, are like, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I've had men literally look at me and say, "You're like making all this shit up." Sorry, so I'm just gonna finish the sentence first. They will literally say, like, "You're literally making all this shit up, aren't you? Like all of it, aren't you? Like this is just make believe. This is fake." Like, Adam, if you guys have been with this channel long enough, I've had a lot of interviews with Adam. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna pull a clip up real quick. Hold on. Okay, let me give you a little preview. The reason why is because I think it was the third day of the training, Adam literally started crying, breaking down, and he looked at me. He goes, "You're insane. You're crazy." He was one of the first ones that said, "You're making all of this up. This is just one big fantasy," because it was so opposite of what he would think in a million years. And here's the deal. Oh yeah, I understand. That's all he said. And a lot of you guys, especially men, would be, "Oh, I understand." I'm like, no, you don't. I'm telling you, this course is going to challenge your brain to the point where you will have cognitive dissonance. There's a very good chance you will have a mini nervous breakdown. This is so completely outside of your realm. But the good news is it pops you open to more options and possibilities. And that's where you get your power from. This is a clip from years ago, at least 5 or 6 years ago. Please forgive the volume of the music. Back then I wasn't as adept at editing videos as I am now. So here you go. Now this is just kind of a random video. There is a video where he does say about how when he went through my course, how he was just like, this is so opposite of what I think now. I can't find that clip, but I'm going to show this clip here. If I can find the other clip, then I'll upload it. And let me know if you guys want me to upload this entire video, okay? This is just a short clip of it. I think it's about a 15 minute video in whole.
Yeah, I like Mike said, I was on the phone and he said, I'm going to do some energy healing on you. And I was like, okay. He said, you don't have to stay on the phone. And then within 20-30 minutes, I just lay in bed. I was like, poof, completely out cold. Like, so cold that I went to sleep 9-10 hours, which I never do. I haven't done that in a long time, maybe since I was a kid. And I felt amazing when I got up. I felt like a kid. I was daydreaming. I was staring at my ceiling.
Let's do a comparison. Let's do a comparison. So you're explaining the good side of it. What was it like before this? To give them contrast.
The energy healing I'd tried before, or do you mean?
No, what were you like before I did the energy? Because I want to give them context, like you were here and now you're here.
Yeah, so when we did the session, so Mike did the healing for me because basically I was really a wreck. I was like in a mess over my ex-girlfriend, and my brain was scattered. I was chaotic. Couldn't think clearly. I wasn't calm. Yeah, I was really emotional.
Would you say you were suffering emotionally? Would you say
What's
you were
that?
suffering emotionally?
Yeah, I was in a lot of pain, but also in a lot of confusion, which isn't fun.
Yeah.
And so when I went to sleep, when Mike did his energy healing, what I found was amazing was I woke up peaceful, like a little kid, completely free, playful, enjoying being myself, comfortable.
Was that your...
What did Adam say? Like a little kid? Completely free? That sounds familiar. Matthew 18:3. I tell you the truth. Unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Hey, Jesus said that. My point, you can learn how to do this, or you can do an energy healing that will set you free. It might only be for a week or 2 weeks or longer, maybe a month. But the more you do it, the freer you become. Here's the thing, you're going to start reading the Bible going, man, like you will see it from a clear perspective and suddenly be like, Jesus literally meant this. So I have some other videos I'm going to try to find out. I'm talking about my course, but the whole message that I'm trying to get in this is that you were taught to see things in a limited way. Now you think, oh, it's just the narcissist. No, the narcissist, yeah, they're the masters of it, but they've been doing everything to keep you limited too. So here's what I'm trying to say. The things that Adam learned in the course about communication, he was just like, man, it's not just something you learn in the course, but when you go out into the world and you talk with the opposite sex, like see with women, you're very aware of this, but you don't know why this is the way it is. And the other thing that's challenging is men look at you like you're nuts, go, what are you talking about? And they do it so congruently, it causes you to doubt yourself thinking, man, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. You're not. The reason why I'm using this stuff is it's everything from being a professional fighter, professional athlete, to starting your own business, to being a singer, to living your dreams. You have constantly heard the message of, oh, well, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And I'm here telling you, yes, you can. Now, I'm not saying that you can be a spoiled brat and be lazy and not do anything. What I'm saying is, like, you can achieve your dreams. You can achieve your goals. The challenge is you have these illusions, these meanings, like this means that. That is an absolute lie. It's not true. It doesn't mean that at all. In fact, 2 videos ago, I made something up. What did I make up? It was kind of funny because I literally made it up on the spur of the moment. It was like, okay, you know how people say, don't curse the names, Lord, or don't say the Lord's name in vain. Like, oh, God damn it, you know, oh, don't say that. Instead, people say, well, then I'll say, oh, God bless it. But they say it in a very pissed off way, right? And so I'm like, well, yeah, but why are you saying it? Well, because I don't want to say God damn it. I go, so essentially you're still cursing using God's name. You just think by using the word blessed, somehow that makes it different. Well, the energy is still the same, and you're still angry, and you're not actually blessing that person or that thing. You're actually cursing at them. I go, so you're still sinning, and you're taking the Lord's name in vain. And they're like, man, I never knew that. And the reason why they didn't know it is because I just made that up. It's not real. I literally played make-believe. All these things, from money's the root of all evil, to the more money you make, the more stress you have, to when, like avoidants have some really interesting complex equivalents where if this guy says that means they're needy, and I'm like, I haven't needed anybody in 25 plus years. What are you talking about? No one's paid my rent. No one's done this. No one's done that. Nobody's, you know, I had an ex-girlfriend who was with me about the 5th year. She's, oh, but baby, you couldn't survive without me. I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't even live with me. You don't pay my bills. You don't buy me food. You don't do jack shit. Like, how would I not survive without you? But right there, that's a form of brainwashing. Yes, by the way, she was a narcissist. They want to convince you that you can't stand on your own 2 feet. They want to convince you that, you know, I'm kind of digressing. I'm going in the reverse direction. What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of things that have been put in your head that you just accepted to be true. That is not true at all. They are literally illusions. Until Adam met me, he had no idea about learning a new language, the right brain language. Like when we finally got him to open up to his right brain, he was just like, what is this? He didn't even know that that this possibility existed. He was stuck in the narrow, linear, logical way. I actually get people to this day, my friends' parents be like, oh no, you don't believe in that chiropractic stuff, do you? I'm like, yeah, it's one of the best things in the world. Why? I'm like, oh no, that's witchcraft. I'm like, chiropractic? What are you talking about? Oh, God forbid you mention acupuncture. So natural bad, cutting bones. What's it called when you connect two vertebrae together? When you like take a piece of metal and you lock them in together where you can't move them. So cutting body parts out of you or off of you, putting metal inside your vertebrae to be stuck to where you can't move. That's good? Really? Oh, how about taking drugs? Well, they're drugs, but we call it medicine, therefore it's okay. Yeah, toxic medicine, toxic drugs, yeah. I'm not saying that you can't take medicine if you need it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's the either or mentality. It's either A or it's B, and therefore, since I like A, then B must be evil. And that's what we do. We still think, these things over here are evil because, well, I don't believe in that, and I wasn't raised that way. Therefore, it has to be evil, because if I'm good, well, the only other option is bad. Therefore, everything else is bad. You know, the one thing I love when I work with people is, even this young lady today, like we had a 30-minute conversation about my course. It was really brief. It was to the point. Like one of the things she learned, I said, look, you know how when you're in your left brain, you say A and you mean A? Because the left brain it's the direct brain. You say A and that's it. It means A. It doesn't mean something else. It doesn't mean something deeper. And I said, but you know how you shift over to your right brain and then you purposely say A, but that's just symbolic of what you really mean B? She's like, yeah. Yeah, men don't do that. And she's like, yeah, I've noticed. I go, but that's what I teach them how to do. And she looked at me, she goes, you can do that? I'm like, I can do that. The rising of consciousness once again. Look what it says in this image at the bottom. We are at a place where people like me are essentially dragging people out saying, look, there's a better way, there's a funner way, there's a happier way, there's a more possibility way, there's more options, there's more possibilities, there's easier ways, there's funnier, not only funner ways, but there are possibilities that you didn't even know existed. Because whenever it came up, you were told that, oh, that's wrong, that's bad, that's evil, that's not godly. Okay, so healing someone of cancer or bone injuries or whatever, so that's bad? Really? Oh, well, Jesus used to do that. I was talking to a guy who's the, not the Seventh-day Adventist. It's kind of they got the Night Tower, the Night Watch magazine that you can get from them. I can't remember the name of them. But the minute I talked about energy healing, he's like, well, that's got to be from evil sources. I go, why does it have to be from evil sources? He goes, well, if it's not from God. I go, who says it's not from God? Like, see, you're literally making this stuff up without even stopping and thinking. You're just pop, pop, pop. And he goes, well, I mean, if it's not taught. I go, it is taught in the church. Have you not read your Bible? Does it not say that God gives different people spiritual gifts? Some get one, some get multitudes. He goes, oh yeah, that's right. And yet he doesn't believe that to be from God. I'm not trying to talk God. I'm just using that. I mean, honestly, we could leave God out of this. I'm not trying to talk God. What I'm simply trying to say is you have been lied to from so many different groups, so many different organizations, so many different people that, oh, you can't do this, that's not real, and if it is real and someone proves it's real, then it's evil. And the main thing is one word, or I'm going to use the word first, and then I'm going to use the phrase, is free. It's interesting, after Adam did an energy healing session with me, that was one of the things he said, is I felt like a little kid, completely free, comfortable, etc., etc. I tell you the truth, the kingdom is at hand. It's all around you. You are literally inside it, right now, right here. Don't think too deep, don't think too spiritual. Adam, in that moment, not just for that moment speaking to me, but for I don't know how many days I did the session. It was a week before, 5 days before, whatever. But he had been living in the kingdom at hand that Jesus spoke of. He entered the gates of heaven. He was in that space of heaven on earth. Wait, the kingdom is at hand, heaven on earth? Oh, that sounds familiar. Who said that? Oh yeah, it's that Jesus guy. Everything he said was real and is real and always has been real and can be real for you. Break the chains of limitation. God bless you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video had an impact on you. If you like this video, please click subscribe, click that bell, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment, and if you want, you can always go ahead and leave a donation. There's a PayPal link right there in the description box, and you can also buy one of my dating and relationship books or packages if you want to support this channel. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys have a great evening and or a great day. Bye.